All right, Kwab, it's time for our power rankings that everybody enjoys and that everybody agrees with.
Yes. Everybody agrees and like is just on board with what we decide.
It's all vibes, baby. This is all
Yeah,
vibe
because
based and records
we
based.
don't agree.
It's just
Yeah.
it's a
Come
good
on.
time to talk about teams. Let's
Yep.
get to it. The Phoenix Suns are still knocking on the door. Like they just keep knocking. We hear you. You just can't get in yet.
You're almost
also,
there.
the Boston Celtics just take that. Knocking on the door, though. They've lost 2 in a row, so you get out of the count. You get out of the power rankings. You lost 2 in a row. You're at 10. Get out of here.
Get out.
Get out of here.
Not just knocking. We're just knocking.
All right, let's get to it. Coming in at number 10 is the Toronto Raptors in at 17 and 11.
Right.
Wins over the Bucks, and the Heat did not lose last week. Now, this is an interesting week because there was the NBA Cup, so some teams played one game. Raptors played 2. They won both games. They bounced back after losing, I think, 4 in a row. To me, I'll be honest with you, I think there's a ceiling to this team. I know they were the 2 seed for a little bit there in the Eastern Conference, but to me, this may be like a 5, 6, maybe even 7 seed fall into the play-in type team. But their record's 17 and 11. I think they've really missed RJ. You know, RJ is somebody who can get to the hoop. He's somebody who can create. He can slash. He can do a lot of things for this team. He can hit the 3. And this team is predicated on Scotty Barnes getting out and running, Brandon Ingram in the half court. But having RJ adds that action dynamic, and I think they really miss him.
Yeah, I think there's another team that needs to be healthy, fully healthy to really reach their ceiling. They've been without RJ for a little bit, which, like you said, affects the way the style they play, and just not having his ability just to attack the rim and all that, it makes a difference. But Brandon Ingram has been playing really well. So has Scotty. I think Jakob Poeltl missed the last game too, which again, they need to be healthy. But Mamu has been playing well for them. We're both fans of Quickly, and yeah, I know you've always been a big fan of Quickly. So yeah, hopefully they get healthy and they keep rising in these rankings. We'll see.
All right, coming in at number 9 is the Orlando Magic in at 15 and 12. Didn't win last week at all, but they did play the Knicks in the NBA Cup. They did play the Nuggets on the road. They're out without Franz Wagner. Jalen Suggs got hurt in the NBA Cup game, so they didn't have him against Denver. They put up a valiant effort. To me, I know the record's not as good as the Raptors, but I think they're a better team than the Toronto Raptors. I just think that when they're healthy, you had Franz Wagner, you have Jalen Suggs. They play fast. You know, they do have the weapons in the half court. Desmond Bane and Paolo have to figure it out. I think they have figured it out sometimes, and sometimes I'm not really sure. But to me, I think they're one of, I don't want to say top 3 team in the East because the East is kind of weird this year, but to me, they're a definitive playoff team in the East. And when they get healthy, the record's going to bump up.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're a definitive team in the East. They just need to get healthy again. It's like it's been a problem for a lot of teams this year, but you're seeing Paolo kind of getting his legs underneath him more. He's becoming more aggressive as he's playing more often. So hopefully he gets back to the all-star caliber player that he is, and they're able to get Franz back, they're able to get Jalen back, but they're getting contributions from a lot of their younger players and other players from the bench, like Jace Richardson has had some great moments. Their last game, Jet Howard was playing fantastic for them. So even without a lot of their main players, you can see how deep the team can be. So hopefully they get right.
All right, coming in at number 8, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves in at 17 and 10. Wins over the Warriors and Kings. They did lose to the Memphis Grizzlies, but no shame in that. Memphis has been playing better.
Yeah.
Not good enough to be in our top 10, but, you know, we see you, Memphis. We see you maybe in a couple weeks if you continue to win. They did beat the Warriors without Anthony Edwards. This team, to me, is a very interesting team. We talk about them all the time, and we talk about how they seem to be limited in the half court offensively when things get tight. We think they need another point guard. Here comes Bones Highland, ladies and gentlemen. Happy for Bones getting playing time. Listen, I know it ended pretty bad in Denver, but before it ended bad, he was a decent player in Denver. He can put the ball in the hoop. Maybe he sees more minutes. Who knows? Maybe Bones Highland's the answer. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, he's been getting, since Anthony Edwards has been out, he's been getting starter minutes, and it's been working out for them. With the Timberwolves, the question marks are the question marks, like, do they have enough point guard play? And if it's Bones and it works out good, I mean, if Rob Dillingham can turn into what he was like promised to be, and like that could also work out in their favor, but that it seems to be that position is really what's hurting them, in our opinion.
Yeah.
Also, not having Ant again, like just gonna be a reoccurring theme in this when we talk about teams in this ranking. Like, Hopefully the T-Wolves get healthy so we can see what they look like. And a big part of that is their superstar Ant. But yeah, like you mentioned, Bones playing minutes. That allows Dante not to play the point guard position, which we both don't think he should be playing. Just we like him better off ball. So yeah, T Wolves at where we have them. I completely
At 8.
forgot. That's what I was about to say at
We're at 8
nine. I'm like,
points.
it's not 9. Oh, T Wolves at 8.
All right, in at number 7, it's the Los Angeles Lakers. They're 19-7, wins over the Suns and the Jazz. Right now we have, I think from 7 on, you have a bunch of teams that people, depending on who you talk to, might consider contenders to win the whole thing. I genuinely think that, you do have the Thunder at top. Surprise, surprise, they're number 1. But after that, there's like a tier of teams, and I think there's 6 teams, and I think for us, me personally, out of the 6 teams, I don't trust the Lakers the most out of all. I trust them the least. This is a team that whenever they play a fast team, a younger team, the team that can go up and down, they just get burned on the perimeter. They can't guard anybody. Yes, they have scoring, but they rely heavily, heavily on 3 players. Their role players don't contribute much because of the style of play in the half court. I'm just not a big believer in them. Kwab isn't either, and because of that, despite the record, they come in at number 7. I don't care that you won 2 games.
Yeah. The makeup of the team is kind of we know what you're gonna get from LeBron. You know what you're gonna get from Luca.
How do you know if you know what you're getting from LeBron at this point in his career?
I mean, yeah, but yes and no. Like, but he still has his moments. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But at this point, you are counting on a 40-year-old with sciatica to make a big impact.
It's crazy, dude.
It's crazy to
Arthritis.
say, but it
I,
is the
I
case.
have arthritis in my ankle. It's not fun.
It's not fun. Like
Yeah.
none of this is fun. But Luca is still playing decently well. Reeves has been out for a little bit. It was reported it was like an injury. Then it was said it was just rest. I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate. But the one thing I've seen that they put Jared Vanderbilt back in the lineup, and he's been making an impact. He's been doing Jared Vanderbilt things in terms of hustling, getting rebounds,
Yeah.
playing both sides of the ball. I think you're gonna need that. You're gonna need more of that. You're gonna need more of good Marcus Smart, not Marcus Smart taking a layup when you're up and you don't need to score Marcus Smart. So that kind of you kind of need defensive pieces on the floor along with your scoring options in LeBron, Luca, and Reeves. But like I said, there's the trust level is not really that high right now with this team, just because they come with a lot of question marks, and the question marks are still ongoing as the season is progressing.
All right, coming in at number 6, dropping 4 spots. It's the Houston Rockets in at 16-8. Losses to the Nuggets, to the Pelicans. I didn't see the game, but that's a bad loss.
Yeah,
There's no way to
yeah,
slice it. So they fall down a couple spots. They had a rough break in Denver. A lot of Rockets fans were upset with the officiating. To me personally, even though I don't think that was a tripping call, personally, I don't think it was a tripping call. I still don't think you can blame the refs. I think the Houston Rockets had ample amount of opportunity to win that game. There was a whole overtime period. You could have won the game. The Nuggets were missing 2 of the players. And yes, I know you're missing DFS, who hasn't played all year. And we know you're missing Tariq. And by the way, Rockets fans, love y'all to death. You guys are some of our most loyal subscribers. Fred VanVleet doesn't count when we talk about people being out. You don't have him this year. He's not as part of the team as far as I'm concerned. We know he's out. Like, we get it. So that I just wanted to say that. Love the Rockets this year, though, but they had to slip for the simple fact that there's just teams right now that are playing better than them. I do think they're a contender in the West. Anxious to see if they make some type of move at the deadline. When DFS gets healthy, when Eason gets healthy, I think this team is going to be a huge problem in the Western Conference. Unfortunately, they go 0-2 on the week, and when you go 0-2 in a week, when everything's this crowded, you drop.
yeah. You drop. But we still think the Rockets are a fantastic team. We
Mhm.
do know the people that are out are out. Yes, we are aware. We always have to repeat that. We know who's out. But
Fred doesn't
yeah,
count, I'm sorry. I love y'all, but he don't count.
yeah,
He's
he's
been,
out. He's out for the whole year. He hasn't played.
yeah,
I don't think he's coming back. If he comes back, apologies.
yeah.
Like, but I'm of the understanding that he's not coming back. So Fred is out for the year. And that's been like the big to us. We're always like, well, not having Fred is kind of you're missing that point guard that can also hit big shots and bring the ball up and make it easier for the whole team. Reed Shepard has had some really good moments for the team, but it feels like they still might be missing that guard piece also. So they might make a move, they might not, but maybe they just wait till everybody gets healthy, like you said with DFS Tari Eason. Like not having Tari Eason is very big just because of his defensive impact, and he was I know for a certain point when the season started, he was leading the league in like corner 3-point percentage made, which
Yeah.
opens up the floor for KD, Thompson, and Shangoon. So yeah, hopefully they get healthy too. Like I said, it's a reoccurring theme, but yeah, we moved them down, but we still have a lot of faith in this team, and we still
Yeah,
enjoy watching this team. They're still so fun to watch.
for sure. Coming in at number 5, it's the Detroit Pistons in at 21-6. That's a great record. They did beat the Hawks and Celtics this week. They lost to the Mavericks in a game where somebody who, I don't know if he's a subscriber or not, but he mentioned in one of our comment sections after the Magic Nuggets game recap, decided to comment on the Pistons and how they got screwed by the refs in the Mavericks game. So I'll take a look at that and see if that's true. Kwab, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't watched the Pistons game in a while.
Mm.
So I kind of want to do one next week. To me, I see highlights. I see Cade Cunningham is still doing his thing. When I think about the Pistons, I think about tough defense, setting a tone, getting out and running. Jalen Duren, every time I watch, the Pistons, I'm more impressed by him. They're definitely better than last year. To me, from what I've seen, they're the second best team in the East. In at number 5, 21-6.
Yeah, I didn't see the Mavs game either, but the Mavs are slowly like winning some games.
They're getting better,
So
man. Yeah.
yeah, it might not. It's not. It's a loss, is a loss, but it might not be that bad of a loss to take because the Mavs also did beat the Rockets that we just mentioned earlier. But yeah, the Pistons are one of the best teams in the East. Still, like we know what they are. We know how good Cade is. Like we always repeat MVP season. Jalen Duren is having a All Star season. Um, yeah, and they're slowly getting more healthy in terms of their depth. Like I'm looking at the box score right now from the Mavs game, and they played looks like everybody. And I mean everybody, like Marcus Sasser, Dennis Jenkins, like
Yeah.
everybody. So yeah, they have a lot of players that command playing time. It's up to the coach to figure out how to make it all work with all these pieces. But they're a really good team in the East, and come playoff time, it's going to be interesting to see how they look when you're matched up with certain teams. But I like the Pistons. I'm a big believer of the Pistons. Josh knows not so much because he's a Knicks fan.
Listen, I respect the Pistons. I think they gave the Knicks a good hard-fought series last year. I think you could even make the case that they could have won 7. And if you couldn't argue that it could have won 7, you could pretty much argue you could have won it either other way. So I respect the Pistons. I do.
He
To
does. He
me,
does.
my
I'm
whole
just I'm
thing.
just joking.
Yeah, no, but I'm just reiterating
Yeah.
for the people who've never come across our videos and think I'm a Nick hate, like I'm a
Fair.
hater, like a Nick fan who's a
Yeah.
hater. I don't hate the Pistons. I thought they would have a harder time adjusting to losing Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, Dennis Schroeder, because those are veterans that played such a huge role.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if the younger guys were so quick to step up, and they have been. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Good for them. All right, coming in at number 4, it's the San Antonio Spurs, 19-7, runners up in the NBA Cup. They beat the Thunder. They beat the Wizards. They lost to the Knicks. That Thunder game, probably just with the stakes, considering all that stuff, the audience, probably the NBA's game of the year, I would say so far, just as far as like just hype, audience, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wembanyama coming back. He's still on a minutes restriction. Not sure what his minutes were like against the Wizards. Haven't checked out that game. But this team is so dangerous with him on the court. You see the difference. I know they played well without him, but you saw the difference that he made when he was in there against the Oklahoma City Thunder, even against the Knicks in the third quarter when he went on that heater. It just seemed like the world was falling apart as a Knicks fan. Stephon Castle is. I knew he was a good defender, but he's a fantastic defender. This team is really good defensively. Even in the game they lost against the Knicks, the point of attack defense was so strong. They made the Knicks work the whole time. Even when you catch an L, I mean, it still was just a very impressive showing. The Knicks guards couldn't stay in front of their guards. Just are going to be a very, very dangerous team come April, May, maybe even June. I think this team is to be taken seriously. I think they're a contender. And I think Spurs fans, you should be very excited about what you're seeing.
Yeah, Spurs fans should be very, very excited. I checking out the box score for the Wizards game. Victor is still on the minutes restriction.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. He's still an alien. And it's kind of crazy that for them to come off the bench with Victor and Dylan Harper, like it's not fair.
Doesn't make
It's
sense.
not. It makes no sense. Like such a talented team. Um, they kind of check all the boxes and what you need for a winning team in terms of speed, shooting, youth, height, um, crazy, talented, unusual player that you can't guard. They have it all. And like I said, that was one of the best games I've watched all season against the Thunder. It was great. It was just so much talent, so much young talent on the floor, and just to see what the future of the NBA is going to be, it was fun. And Spurs fans should be really really excited about this team and really happy what they have.
All right, coming in at number 3, it's your NBA Cup champions, your Knicks. Ladies and gentlemen, 19-7 wins over the Magic, the Spurs, and the Pacers did not lose. They are on a 7-game winning streak if you count the NBA Cup Finals. Best team in the East. Sorry, Pistons fans. The hat's on. The hat's on. I think they're the best team in the East right now. I think they have the biggest ceiling, highest ceiling, I would say. I will admit, though, I do think their floor is a little lower than a typical contender. That kind of makes me uncomfortable. But to me, they're figuring themselves out. Shout out Mike Brown. They seem to be moving the basketball more. Jalen Brunson playing off ball a little more to start the season. He's kind of getting back on ball. But when they run the basketball, when they're in transition, I love the way this team plays. Tyler Kolek's, carving out a role as a backup point guard. Hopefully, that game gets Jordan Clarkson going. He's been a little slow. He hasn't really found his role yet. OG Anunoby comes back. He's a lockdown defender. This team is really well-rounded. They seem to know themselves better than they did last year. This team is significantly better than they were last year, in my opinion, at least. And right now, I know a lot of national media is like, well, the Knicks are the obvious favorite in the Eastern Conference. I know that's kind of like, the take right now, but I agree with it. And for those of you who are just catching the show for the first time, I don't say that often. So this is not, I'm not someone who just goes around like touting the Knicks.
Don't let the hat fool you. He doesn't say that at all.
Yeah.
At all. So yeah, right now we have the Knicks this high. It's too high for me. If you're new here, I'm a Nets fan. So
Bob's a Nets fan, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes
I find
he gets
different ways to
confused.
hate. I'm gonna hate. Well,
People get confused because I'm wearing the Knicks hat, so they think it's a Knicks podcast. But he's a Nets fan.
Yeah. Now, well, first of all, the Knicks winning the NBA Cup it doesn't count in the regular season, so it doesn't show up in your wins or losses, and you're not putting up a banner, so nobody knows or cares if they won or not. So like, why are we even talking about it? Who cares? No, the Knicks have been playing really, really well.
I saw it happen.
Yeah, so did I. So did I. I saw it happen, and I wasn't happy about it. But but the Knicks have been playing really, really well. But again, shout out to Mike Brown, basically allowing the team to play more in terms of their bench. Like Tyler Kolek was making an impact, and he kept them in the game. I think that was a difference in their wins, man. They feel like they have a deeper team compared to previous years, just because they're actually using your bench, which was a thing that Knicks fans was a big gripe with Thibodeau, and now not as much. I like the team. I like what they are. I still think they have some problems defensively, which are
They do. Their point of
which are
attack
like
defense is on the perimeter is not great.
it's not good for a team that has championship aspirations. It's still a problem. And then I'll never be a fan of the foul baiting and
It's not that bad, bro.
let me
We gotta
let me
stop
talk. Let me
this.
cook. It's not that bad because you got the hat on, but from
He
the
doesn't
outside,
Okay. Go ahead.
from
Cook,
the
cook,
outside, from the outside, and this is the only point I'm making. From the outside, this all I'm gonna say when it comes to that. I always say this when it comes to that issue, right? If you spend too much time trying to draw the foul instead of just going for the bucket, which sometimes Cat runs into and Jalen runs into during close games, it's gonna affect you. They're both way too talented and way too skilled for some of the way they play. And also, if
that was
Cat,
game 2 against the Pistons last year.
yeah,
That's probably one of the most frustrating games I ever watched as a Knicks fan. It was game 2
exactly.
against the Pistons last
And
year.
I'm like, you don't have to do that. And also, if Cat just stays out of foul trouble, like you need Cat on the floor. We all see his talent and his versatility. He can be unstoppable. So I feel like the Knicks. You can make the case the Knicks are the best team in the East. Like you said, their ceiling is high compared to a lot of other teams just because of their talent, their experience, and the depth they have from all their positions. So we'll see what it looks like as they keep progressing. But I'm still gonna keep hating. Still gonna keep hating.
That makes me sad. That makes me
So
sad.
it's okay. It's love. It's love, but it's love.
Coming in at number 2 is the Denver Nuggets, 20-6, 6 wins in a row. 2 impressive wins at home against the Rockets and the Magic. This is, they lost 4 in a row at home before this, which is weird to say because Denver feels like such a home court advantage, especially when the team's really good. But without Aaron Gordon, without Christian Brown, they seem to kind of find themselves a little bit. Jamal Murray has been playing out of his mind. Jokic, just had the most boring triple-double we ever watched in our lives, and it's just kind of like normal for him.
Yeah,
You have players like Pickett stepping up. You have Spencer stepping up. I mean, to me, this is going to bode well for them when Brown is back and when Aaron Gordon's back and you need players to step into the playoffs. I think this is a good time. I've always said, even when we had them ranked at 4 or 5 or whatever we had them at, that in my mind, they're still the second best team. They lost a few games, so we had to bump them down. But yeah, I mean, they've won 6 in a row. I think right back in their rightful place, number 2.
Yeah, I agree with you. And like you mentioned, they a lot of players have been stepping up in the absence of Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown, which is going to be beneficial for them in the playoffs and later on in the season also. I said before when we did a recap previously with against the Nuggets against the Magic, and I said that was the best Cam Johnson game I've seen in a Nuggets uniform that I've seen. That I've watched personally, that I've watched Cam play, because he looks like he's adjusting better. He's fitting in. He's getting back into rhythm. He looks like the player that was on the Nets that was hitting shots, attacking the rim, and still providing defense in different positions. So, the ceiling is very high for the Nuggets, and it's always going to be because they have Jokic, who, like we said, like he just walks into triple doubles like it's nothing, and also Jamal Murray is playing at a very, very high
Can
level.
we all-star Jamal Murray?
Yeah, he's going to be. He should be an all-star, easily all-star.
He's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, crazy.
He's having an insane year. He deserves to be an all-star. All right, coming in at number 1, no surprise here. It's the OKC Thunder at 25-2. They beat the Clippers, lost to the Spurs. Caught an L, but you're still 25-2. I don't know what to say. You're still dope.
Oh my God, they lost 2 games? Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the one critique that I think a lot of media was saying about the Thunder was that they had the easiest schedule to start the year. And I never really bought into that because they've been kicking the crap out of teams. So it's not like they're really, getting by teams. And you're going to catch L's. And I think that, you played a very inspired Spurs team. Caught an L. It happens. It's the league. It's the league, Even the best regular season team of all time finished 73-9. They lost 9 games. So we can talk about, do they finish with the record? Do they don't? But the fact of the matter is that their schedule's about to get tougher. They're going to play teams like the Nuggets and the Knicks and the Spurs again. It's going to be very interesting to see how they play when this schedule is tougher. But just because they catch a couple L's, I'm not moving from my position that they're the best team in basketball unless they really start slipping and we need to have a conversation. Like if you lose 3 in a row and it's like one's to like the Magic, but like 2 are to like the Pelicans and Kings, then we need a conversation. Right now they're fine. You're gonna catch an L in the league. It just is what it is.
Yeah, they're fine. It was just a crazy game against the Spurs, man.
And shout out to the Spurs too.
Shout out to the Spurs. That was that was a highlight of the NBA Cup for me. I know the Knicks winning was the highlight for you, but the Thunder, man. Is like we can lament on different little things and try to pick apart small things that they could be doing. I don't know, man. They're just too good. Yeah. I feel like they're gonna bounce back. They're gonna be fine after a loss. Sometimes, and it's weird to say sometimes it's good to take some losses so you can adjust and find out like, hey, we should be doing this better. We should be doing this better. It feels like they kind of stalled their offense a little bit when they played the Spurs, stopped moving the ball as much, and weren't defending on the same level that they usually do. So that could be a motivating factor. Like, hey, they feel like they should have won that game in your mind. So this could push them to keep being better. Like I said, we have them number 1 now, unless like they take a drastic turn, like if they lose to the Nets,
right?
You're out. You're out.
Beat them twice or something like that. It's like, oh well, maybe.
Yeah, if you lose to the Nets, you're out the top 10.
That's a new rule.
That's my rule.
Okay, we might have to I actually want to keep that rule. It's a funny rule. All right, listen, that's going to do it for our power rankings. Of course, like always, let us know where we went wrong and where we're dumb, but also let us know where we're smart. We appreciate that as well.
We appreciate
Stay
that
tuned
too.
for another game recap. I think we're going to do Thunder T-Wolves just based off of our schedules. We were going to try to do Spurs Hawks as well, but schedules kind of get in the way. So look out for Thunder's T-Wolves, and then look out for our second dime bag installment where we take your comments. Maybe we'll take some comments from this video and use them in the dime bag episode. So drop a comment below. Make sure you subscribe, all that good stuff. Also at the Dime NBA. I'm Josh. He's Kwab. See you tomorrow for an episode of Dime. Peace.